Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How are you? It is the top of the hour. This is Andrew Hawks. Welcome to the Skyway Invest Group opportunity presentation this evening. I'm just going to mute this down so I don't get disturbed by that. Also, my apologies. I am a little bit flustered at the moment. It's been a long week, let me tell you. So welcome this evening, ladies and gentlemen. You've been invited here by somebody who obviously cares about you. We're living in changing times. I'm going to kick right into it. We are living in changing times, ladies and gentlemen. The cost of living is getting higher and higher each and every year, and pay parity doesn't seem to be keeping up with what's going on. That means it's harder and harder for us to get ahead in life. It's not like it was 50 years ago. In fact, it's worse than it was 50 years ago. Let's be honest. The price of real estate is certainly getting higher, and most of us who have children today, younger children, certainly won't be able to afford to get into the housing market, certainly not the same way that we were able to. Obviously, given the time that we're living in, there's a lot of different things going on. There's a lot of talk about cryptocurrencies being the next big thing. And ladies and gentlemen, cryptocurrencies are here to stay. And if you haven't had any education around that yet, it would probably be a good idea to go out and get some. But with the fact that we have got a rise in cryptocurrencies, it is a new form of currency. There's a lot of people out there peddling different opportunities that aren't necessarily the best for you. And realistically, they're only lining one person's pocket in that respect. So, guys, there are heaps of things to be wary of out there. That's why I'm so excited to be able to present this to you this evening, ladies and gentlemen, because this is a breath of fresh air. This is something that is completely unique, completely new, and is completely amazing, let's be honest. So we're going to kick into it now, but before we do, I'm going to go through this little disclaimer right here. I'm going to read it verbatim. Please note that we are not licensed to sell shares, as all countries have their own rules on the sale of financial products. We must respect the laws of the land. Generally speaking, most countries allow the sale of information products without a special license. Therefore, the terminology that we use in our marketing is simply this. We talk about EIPs, an educational information product. We also refer to them as informational or educational investment products. We also talk about PIPEs, pre-IPO, private equity shares. That's here in Australia and, of course, the rest of the world for that matter. Now, if you don't know what an IPO it is an initial public offering. It's the first time a company gets listed on a stock exchange anywhere in the world. We obviously refer to that as bonus equity shares here in our example. We do not offer financial advice. We advise you not to offer financial advice unless you're licensed to do so in your area of residence. Only general information is given and should be noted. Please do your own due diligence or seek confirmation from a licensed accountant or financial advisor in your area of compliance in your country. Remember, we are not selling anything apart from a financial education. We're not selling shares. If you're here to buy shares, I'm sorry, you are in the wrong place. You have been misinformed. So you need to go back to the person who invited you and tell them that. But we are giving a precious gift to people, and we're showing them how that they can actually get ahead in life through investing in their own education. And of course, they receive PIPEs for doing so, which again is free bonus private pre-IPO equity in Skyway Technology. Ladies and gentlemen, I've already alluded to the fact my name is Andrew Hawks. I am a father first. I'm a manager here with Skyway Invest Group, the company that I'm representing here this evening. I'm also a co-owner of the technology that I'm about to share with you. I'm one of 8 English-speaking certified master profi coaches worldwide. That will become a little bit clearer as we go through. I'm a private investor. That means I do things outside of what we're sharing here this evening. I've been marketing online now for a little over 10 years, and I haven't needed to go out and get a JOB in that time, so I'm doing something right in that respect. And I'm an author. I wrote a book about 4 years ago called Rivers of Gold, How to Create Multiple Income Streams, and it is literally about monetizing your knowledge into multiple different income streams that can pay you day in, day out, passively while you sleep, whatever you're doing, wherever you're doing it. So very, very passionate about showing people how they can get ahead in life. So this gentleman right in front of us here, this is Dr. Anatoly Yunitsky, and he invented a technology called Skyway Technology, or Yunitsky string technology. And if you look above him on the top right, there is a picture of one of his little creations. It is a fundamentally new transport system. It's eco-friendly, it's safe, it's comfortable, significantly cheaper to build. We're going to have a little bit of a look at that. That's compared to all existing solutions that are out there right now. It's passed a range of international scrutiny, if you like. It has certification on our Unibike and our Unibus, which we'll go through in a little bit more detail very, very soon. Now, Dr. Yunitsky was awarded $1 million from the United Nations back in 2001 for proof of concept, essentially, so that he could go out and prove that his Yunitsky string technology, Skyway, worked. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? It worked, and it worked incredibly well. So here we are today talking about the technology. He's also received the Golden Chariot Award from the United Nations, which is basically for innovation in transport. And you may have already guessed it, he got that Golden Chariot Award for the innovation of the Skyway transport. So very, very exciting times in that respect. Now, right here in front of you, you can see a little picture of a place called Eco Techno Park. Now, this is in Minsk in Belarus, in a little enclave, if you like, called Marina Gorka. It's 36 hectares of land, and it was gifted by the Belarusian government. Now, the reason it was gifted by the Belarusian government is because they saw promise in the transport technology, and they wanted to help get it ahead because they could see how it could assist them with their transport issues in and around Belarus as well. So we're gifted 36.86 hectares of land, a testing and productions facility, if you like. So this is where we did receive certification in late last year, November of last year, for our uni bus, and I will go through that and show you that in a second. But more importantly, we've also now got production facilities in Belarus that are producing at a high rate, producing a lot of uni buses, uni bikes, and of course they're also working on our high-speed carriages, which is very, very exciting, and we'll tell you a little bit more about that as we go through as well. Ladies and gentlemen, right here in front of us is the intercity transportation, the high-speed Skyway. This is capable of speeds in excess of 500 kilometers an hour, and it can move up to 500,000 passengers per year. Ladies and gentlemen, this is set to be unveiled at InnoTrans in Berlin later this year. This is going to be a working prototype. This will be certified, touch wood, by the time it's unveiled in Berlin, which is years and years and years ahead of anything that Elon Musk is doing with the Hyperloop right now. We'll go through that a little bit later as well. Okay, so the Urban Skyway right here. Okay, so if you're just joining us, just mute yourself out. Thanks, that'll be awesome. Andrew, stay on top of that, thanks. So the Urban Skyway here, this is the Unibus. This received certification back in November of last year. This little baby, this is awesome. Distance is up to 200 kilometers. It'll travel at up to 150 kilometers an hour. So this is perfect between the Gold Coast and Brisbane, if you like. There's going to be plenty of traffic woes here in the coming weeks with the Commonwealth Games coming up. This would be perfect solution to fix that. Up to 50,000 passengers per hour. This is a little beauty, and it will be rolling out around a city near you quite soon, I'd imagine. The cargo here, this is called the Uni Truck. This is perfect for mines, okay? Anything that's got a lot of ore to move, or farmers, if they've got wheat or corn or whatever they need to get to the ports or to a train station, this is a perfect solution for them. And if we think about everything that we've got in Australia, we've got a lot of mines in and around the outback of Australia. We've also got a lot of farms, right? We've got a lot of big land to cover. This will be the cheapest solution for any of those farmers to get their goods and produce. Obviously, we're not talking about cattle or stock, out to the market, and of course for mines as well. Speeds of up to 150 kilometers an hour, good for over 200 million tonne a year. Unibike, this one here is for a little bit of fun, but also has a serious side to it too. Travel of up to 150 kilometers an hour. Ladies and gentlemen, you can actually pedal this one. You can get in, there's a sport variant of it, you can pedal this, and it can get up to 150 kilometers an hour. They range from a single-seater right up to a five-seater, and of course you can even do business in them there. You can see the business variant. Conduct your board meetings if you like. It might be a way of the future. There is a similar thing in New Zealand at the Agrodome in Rotorua called the Schweeb. Now that was sponsored by Google some years back. Hey, if you are just joining us, if you can mute yourself out, that'd be great. Hey, so that was just a couple of years back. It was commissioned by Google there at the Agrodome. Now Armand's one of our top managers, was in New Zealand last year, and he cheekily went along to the Schweeb and said, hey, we've got something similar. It's called the Unibike. It does this, that, and the other. Long story short, the general manager there is very keen to talk about implementing a Unibike in and around the Agrodome as well. So very exciting times ahead for this little transport that we're talking about. Okay, so up in front of us now, we have a competitor analysis. Right at the top there, we've got Skyway, speeds of up to 500 kilometers an hour. In fact, the testing's showing now that it's potentially higher than that, which is awesome. It's got a very, very high safety standard attached to it. The cost per kilometer to build is $3 to $8 million a kilometer. Very, very cool. Very cheap. It's eco-friendly. It's economical, obviously, is where I was going with that. Adaptability. It can be built anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. It can be built in any terrain. It can be built over mountains, through sea, and I'm talking deep sea. It can be built through the jungle, through the desert. There might be a hint in that. So we also then have the magnetic levitation train, also known as the maglev, if you like, up to 600 kilometers an hour, has a high safety standard, $106 million a kilometer to build. So it's quite exy. You look at putting $1 billion in there, you've only got 10 kilometers down the road, which is not very far at all. It needs flat ground for it to be built on. Again, it is eco-friendly as well. I would suggest that the reason it is so expensive is because there's a lot of engineering to get that flat ground to make sure that it can work. The next one up is the Hyperloop, up to 1,300 kilometers an hour. It's a moderate safety standard. Up to $100 million a kilometer to build. Again, must be built on flat ground. And if you know anything about how the Hyperloop works, must be incredibly straight. So it is based on a very old technology. If you've ever seen the old movies where the mail gets sucked out of the mailroom and delivered throughout the building through the suction tubes, that's essentially what the Hyperloop is. So it's a vacuum tube. If you want to strap yourself into a tin can and get fired at 1,300 kilometers an hour down the road, then that's... you could be my guest. I'm not keen on doing that myself. And of course, it comes with a whole heap of different issues as well. If you get a hole in the glass or any vacuum leak, if you like, then you lose pressure and you don't go anywhere. So consequently here, Dr. Yunitsky was in Dubai last year around October, I believe it was, and he had a meeting with some of the people high up there, some of the royal family. And they said, no, we love the Hyperloop because it's 1,300 kilometers an hour. And he said, okay, it'll be faster to go on a skyway between Abu Dhabi and Dubai. And they said, how is that possible? And he did the calculations as engineers do. And sure enough, it was 7 minutes faster to go on a skyway. So because of that, they said, we want to know more about the skyway. Long story short, Dr. Yunitsky was in Dubai a week ago having more meetings, so read into that what you like also. The monorail there, up to 80 kilometers an hour. I'm not quite sure why it's a competitor because it's anywhere near fast enough. It does have a high safety standard, apparently, and it costs up to $36 million a kilometer to build. So if we even took the low end of the scale for the Skyway, even Skyway's only 10% of the price of what it is to build a monorail. So it then becomes a no-brainer for people to implement. And again, that must be built on flat ground as well. So sustainability, this is a buzzword that you hear a lot about. We talk a lot about environmental pollution these days. We talk a lot about climate change. We don't need to get head deep in that. Okay, so 1,250% environmental pollution comes from a car. So if you're driving a car, you're contributing 1,250% to the environmental pollution. Congratulations. Hey, Shannon, how you doing? If you got the monorail there, you can see that it is up to 200, or in fact over 250%, up to almost 300%. Railway is 250%, maglev 250%. You can see a Skyway right there. It's actually less than 100%, which is awesome. So just as an aside, going back to Elon Musk again with his other company, Tesla, that's currently the most efficient vehicle on the road. Skyway is 17 times more efficient than a Tesla. So that's kind of exciting. Obviously, we can get things happening there as well. Just moving right along. Hopefully I've gone to the right. I'll just go back a sec. Yep, come to the right one. Okay, so guys, this here, 15 stages of development. We are currently in stage 10. And if you see across the top there, it says move to stage 11 soon. So I can tell you here, ladies and gentlemen, on the 11th of April 2018, we will move, well, the official word is that we will move to stage 11. That is on the 11th of April. It just happens to coincide with the end of the Dubai Transport Expo. Read into that what you like also. Okay, and so in 78, Dr. Yunitsky started developing this technology. Very, very exciting. 2014, they finally broke ground. I told you that in 2001, he was awarded $1 million grant from the UN to prove his concept. Obviously, that worked. 2015, they really started building and construction in earnest. That was out at Ecotech Park in Marina Gorka, Belarus. They've gone through 2016 through their demonstration, their certification, received certification late last year in November, as I've said, and now we're into the technology adoption phase, and we are imminently close to seeing a start in a project somewhere very, very close to us right now, which is kind of exciting. There's just a few things that need to be ironed out, and that will start to kick off. You can see there 2018 .. It says that we're going to go to an IPO. The business plan, ladies and gentlemen, suggests that we should go to an IPO this year. However, business plans are fluid. Now, will it happen this year? No, probably not. Will it happen next year? Hey, maybe. Probably not. Will it happen 2020? It might. It might not. We don't know. How long is a piece of string? Okay, that's the question we need to answer right there. But the fact is, the plan is to go to IPO. That will be capitalized, and people will get rewarded for sticking in there with that. Okay, so the IP rights and the patent have a value of over $400 billion. There is an exact figure. It's 400,887 million, something like that. I should get that exact figure and put it up for everyone. Anyway, it's kind of irrelevant right now. That was done on a valuation based in 2014. That was done based on drawings and IP, intellectual property. So obviously, there's probably a little bit more value in there now when we think of what we do have at Ecotech Park. We've got 3 tracks. We've got a database of over 1 million people that have helped crowdfund for this opportunity. We've got over 300 MOUs signed around the world with more than 12 countries, and we've raised well over $60 million so far. This technology is fully transferable, ladies and gentlemen. It means that it can be moved around anywhere that we like. Okay, so the countries that we are involved with right now already, you can see Indonesia there up in the top left. They've just come to an agreement with one of the universities there, which is kind of exciting. It means there's succession planning and everything being thought of in there. We've got India there, Belarus, Australia. Obviously, Australia is very, very big in there. It's very integral in the plan moving forward over the next 12 months. Russia, the Ukraine, Ireland. There's Kazakhstan that's in there as well. Look, there's too many countries for me to actually mention now. Tanzania is another one. Trust me, things are moving forward in a great rate of knots. Certificates have been obtained for the Urban Skyway. That's the Unibus, the picture that I showed you before. In fact, the one that's there in the top right. This means that it is certified to carry passengers right throughout the Russian Federation, which is awesome. That's the first step to getting it everywhere else in the world. Basically, Russia can implement this right now, and it can roll out. In fact, Russia said, once you have certification, we'll begin implementation of Skyway throughout our territories. And we're set to sign an agreement on the 29th of December for that to, in fact, start happening. So that's kind of exciting too. Now, that was the technology, guys. I want to introduce you to us now, Skyway Invest Group. This gentleman in front of you is Andre Harato. He is our CEO, an absolute gem of a man, self-made millionaire, and just outright professional investor. Meaning he doesn't do anything else, ladies and gents. He doesn't need to be doing anything for us, but he is. He's certainly well off. He didn't need to be out building a network, but he's doing that for the sake of the people, for people like us. But because he knows that we can help crowdfund this technology and we can take ownership of it as well. So Skyway Invest Group is an educational investment portal. It is the trademark of Royal Skyway Systems Limited. We don't need to go too deep into that. Our mission, you can find that out from the person that invited you here tonight. Our mission is to educate people about the importance of financial and investment education. And ladies and gentlemen, I can't stress that enough, and I'll share my story a little bit why with that soon. Why crowdfunding? I get this question a lot. Why are we crowdfunding this technology? If it's so amazing, why is Unitsky not going out down the traditional methods and saying, hey, I'm going to go to a VC and I'm going to say, hey, I need X amount of dollars. Would you like to fund it? Well, ladies and gentlemen, he has already done that, and they wanted too much of his company. Now, what you need to know about Anatoly Yanitsky is he has a bigger vision than Skyway, and that vision is to take harmful industry from our Earth's atmosphere into outer space. Now, that requires a lot of money. So if he was going to go down the traditional funding route for Skyway, he wouldn't have enough money to then start that next project because the VCs wanted too much of it. So enter crowdfunding, which is awesome for you, myself, and for everybody like us because it means we get to have a piece of a pie that is normally reserved for only elite investors. So it's kind of exciting to be in on the ground floor of something like this. If you think about Facebook before it went to IPO, 10 years before it went to IPO, the first investor there made a truckload of money. I've done other videos on that. I won't share that here. But ladies and gentlemen, the opportunity in front of you right now is amazing. Wealth creation education. Now, this is one thing, as I said, I am incredibly passionate about. I've made and lost well over $1 million in my lifetime, and I did that in about 3 years. And it's taken me a long time to get back up the horse. So if you see there on the bottom left-hand corner, the ESBI, that is in fact the cash flow quadrant made famous by Robert Kiyosaki. Most of us go to school and learn to be an employee. And if we become really, really good at our trade or whatever it is that we do, we become a good technician. Some of us become self-employed, which is the S quadrant, okay? Which is cool, but it's still not freedom. It's still on that poor side of the quadrant. Then if we go up into B, we're talking about big business. And I'm talking if you've got over 500 employees, you'd be considered big business. Now, obviously, that is the wealth side of the quadrant. You will make more money there, but you're still tied to it. You're still trading time for money, essentially being in a business. So our goal with our education is to get everybody through to that I quadrant, which is the investor quadrant, meaning that money will come into your bank account while you are sleeping. That's passive income. Now, if I could give you a bit of an example, I'll give you an example a little bit later, but that's passive income. You want to have that investment income coming into your bank account each and every day because that's where freedom lies, ladies and gentlemen. So what is in it for you and yourself? An educational investment package. I told you that it does get mentioned a couple of times. It does get called a few different things. You can do that in either a one-off payment or you can do it in installments. And I'll give you some examples of that as we go through. You can also, from time to time, come across the promotional ones. And also with the promotional ones, if you're a partner long enough and you've got some money coming to your bonus account, you can also get partner EIPs, which are essentially promotional as well. So at stage 10, the discount ranges from 1 to 75 to 1 to 160. Now remember, we moved to stage 11 on the 11th of April. That's only a little over 2 weeks away. Ladies and gentlemen, that's important to know because that discount will change by at least 40%. Okay, so currently as it stands, 10 units, you can see 10 units there right down to 100,000 units. A unit essentially right now is a US dollar. So for every 1 unit, it's $1 US. So 10 units is $10 US, again, right down to 100,000 US dollars. At 10 units, you'll get 80 bonus pipes. That's a discount of 8, okay? At 35, you get right down to a discount of 12, so 420. You can see there 1,000 units right now gets you 90,000 pre-IPO private equity shares with a discount of 90. At 100,000 units will get you 17 million pre-IPO private equity shares with a discount of 170. Very, very cool. So guys, there's no reason, there's no barrier to entry here. You can get in for as little as $10 US. That's it total. So there's no excuses for people not to do something for their future. The installment example here that we've got in front of us, we've got 3 examples there. Obviously, there are different installment levels that you can come at. You can come in as little as $10 a month for 10 months, which is $100, right up to $10,000 a month. And in fact, I think there's even one for $50,000 a month for 10 months, which is obviously $500,000. But right there, the one in front of you can see is $25,000, $2,500 each and every month for 10 months, 3.5 million pre-IPO private equity shares. Guys, you don't have to go and do that, but if you want to, the option is there for you. There is something for everyone here at any level that you want to participate at. So the business opportunities, that's awesome. We can get involved there and just sit and do nothing if we want to. But if we wanted to share this with other people, obviously somebody invited you here this evening. Congratulations. They obviously care about you because believe me, ladies and gentlemen, it's not actually about the money for most people here. It's about sharing this opportunity because it's too good to miss. So there are 6 income streams that are available with this opportunity. Today, we have a network. Somebody invited you here. Most of us network daily and don't even know it. If you've been to a movie lately and you've shared that movie with someone and said, hey, you should really go and check such and such out, you've just networked. You just didn't get paid for it. That's the only difference. Tomorrow, guys, you could become a company rep. There are literally people around the world right now that are representing the company, doing presentations for them, running trainings, and they're being rewarded fiscally for doing that. You can get a percentage from the big contracts. If you become a company rep in a certain location and you help with those contracts, you can get a percentage of the contract's implementations. Project initiation, there's a little bit of a caveat with this one, so I will share that with you as we go through it. But you can essentially, if you know someone who's a big developer or you know the CEO of a big company that you think, hey, Skyway would go really, really well through there, like take SeaWorld, for example. They've got a monorail that goes around SeaWorld. Maybe somebody wants to replace that monorail and they know the CEO of SeaWorld. Okay, it's an arbitrary story, I get it. But if you knew that person and you said, hey, we could do this together and they implement that project there, you can get a percentage of that for the project initiation. In the future, ladies and gentlemen, this is the original reason I got involved with this company for IPO. Yes, the company will go public and those private pre-IPO equity shares that you have will become worth money. In fact, right now they have a par value for every dollar there is that the company is valued at, there is a share parcel available for that. So essentially, they've got a par value of $1. IPO in the future, of course, dividends. This one here is the kicker. This is the one that's going to allow you to retire and do whatever you want to do whenever you want to do it. And here's why. Anybody know, or most people here I'm sure would know Elvis Presley. He's been dead for 41 years this year. However, his estate still earns millions and millions of dollars each and every year through royalty income. Now, although different to dividends, they have some similarities, and that is it keeps coming long after the people have died. Now, I'll give you an example. The Stevenson family, Richard Stevenson, no, it wasn't Richard Stevenson, but Stevenson is famous for British Rail, essentially, for introducing the steam engine to everyone, even though it wasn't his invention. He introduced British Rail. Now, 5 generations deep, his family members are still getting billions of dollars in royalties or in dividends each and every year from doing that. This is the potential here for you and your family, ladies and gents. Okay, so we've got some express qualifications if you did want to get serious about this opportunity. there's a couple of good ways that you can do it. Okay, as a consultant, you can go Express Consultant, $3,500. Ladies and gentlemen, this is only good until the 31st of March, 2018. $3,500 will get you 400,000 pre-IPO private equity shares. It will also get you the Master Profit training with $1,300, which is a 3-day live-in training. Very, very cool. Unlimited earning potentials. I'll explain that in a second. Plus, you become a business entity. Ladies and gentlemen, after the 31st of March, this will go up to $4,000 and the pipes will be reduced to $315,000. There has never been a better time to get an Express Consultant package. You've got to the 31st of March, 2018. The other one you can see there, Express Manager, $20,000 or 20,000 units. As an Express Manager, you get 3 million pre-IPO private equity shares. Remember what I said they're worth when it goes to IPO, ladies and gents. Free Master Profit training with $1,300. Unlimited earning potentials. I'll explain that, as I said. Business entity. Plus, you get to participate in project initiation. That means you must be a manager to be able to initiate projects, ladies and gents. So if you knew someone, the CEO of SeaWorld, for example, and you wanted to talk about projects, you would need to become a manager to be able to do that. So our marketing plan here is very, very simple. If you did want to grow this as a business, this is how you're going to make money, ladies and gentlemen. For anyone that you personally introduce, you will receive 8% of whatever they put in. And that's pretty cool. On our second level, you will get 7%, and that, of course, goes right through to president. On our third level, this is where we start to get some changes. As a partner, you will receive 3%. Everybody starts as a partner. As an agent, you will receive 5% right through to president. Once you get to your fourth level, ladies and gentlemen, as a partner, you no longer receive commission. I know somebody who is a partner right now. In fact, he's an agent right now, and he's got somebody on his 7th level, so he's not getting paid on that. So he wants to get himself to manager very, very quickly. So on our fourth level, it changes. Partner doesn't get anything. Agent gets 4% right through to president. Then when we get to our fifth level, partner doesn't receive anything. Agent doesn't receive anything. And there's 3% right through to president. When we go 6th or more, again, partner still gets nothing. Agent gets nothing. As a consultant, you will receive anywhere from 1.5 through to 3%. Again, you can see the percentages change right through up to president. Let me explain that a little bit for you. As a manager, it's the easiest one to go with, or leader manager, same. As a manager, if you just become a manager, then you'll get 3% of anything from your 6th level and below. If you have another manager in your structure below you, you will get 3.2%. If you have a second manager in your structure below you, you will get 3.5%. If you have a third manager in your structure below you, you'll get 3.8%. If you have a fourth manager in your structure below you, you will in fact get the full 4%. Now, if you've structured it right, that will also push you through to leader manager. But again, the person who invited you here this evening will be able to explain that much better to you in much more detail. So you want to get back to them and talk about that if you want to know some more about it. So how do you start, ladies and gentlemen? It's very, very simple. Register today. Complete your verification process. You will need to do that now in order to share the opportunity if you want to do that with other people. Learn about the product. Learn about the company, learn the business inside and out. Now, do I expect you to learn that overnight? No, ladies and gentlemen, I don't. I've been here over 8 months myself, and I'm still learning new things each and every day. Am I competent to talk about it? Absolutely, yes, I am. And if I don't know what the answer is, I go and find it from someone who does. You guys have all of those resources too. Plug into them. Talk to the person who invited you. If they can't answer, their upline will be able to answer for you. Tap into the Facebook. We have a very, very good community there on Facebook where information is shared freely each and every day. There's a heap of information in the file section, etc. So get back to the person who invited you this evening and they can add you to that group. Not a problem at all. Simple. Invite others. That's how you're going to grow this business. This webinar runs twice a week at 7 p.m. Queensland time each and every week, Tuesdays and Thursdays, and we'll soon be going on to the official channel, so it'll be even easier for people to keep in touch there. Guys, if you have just joined us, if you could mute yourself down, that'd be awesome. So, guys, there is a project proposed for Flinders University in Adelaide, 500 metres of track, which is from the hospice to the campus. This is just one of many, many, many projects that are already on the boards here for Australia. So expect to see something happening here in the very, very near future. Ladies and gentlemen, I just have come back from Dubai. What an amazing place. That building in front of you there is called the Burj Khalifa. That's on the left. It is the tallest building in the world. Ladies and gents, this place is just amazing. And it is really a crystal ball to what's coming in the coming months, if you like, or of the coming years. Now, I did mention that Yanitsky's been there quite a bit, and we are building a 20 to 25 kilometre high-speed track somewhere in the world, just saying. So opportunity summary, I'm just going to rip through these so they all come out. I'll get this build order right next week. Guys, with this opportunity, you can become an educated professional investor. I mean that in every sense. You get all the training you need to be able to go out and pick what investments will work really, really well for yourself and your own risk profile. You'll be able to understand what capitalization is, what risk is, what low risk is, what no risk is, what a guaranteed return is. All of those market segments, and there's quite a few market segments you will learn about. You can grow a business and have unlimited earning potential. I've demonstrated how you can do that simply by sharing this opportunity with other people as they have with you this evening. You can create passive income streams. Warren Buffett said, if you don't have passive income streams, you will work until you die. Ladies and gentlemen, nobody wants to work until they die. Well, certainly I don't. I want to go out and spend time with my family. I want to go and have great experiences like I had last week in Dubai on the cruise. So, ladies and gentlemen, they are there for everybody. You can create a Skyway portfolio literally worth billions of dollars. And I mean that sincerely, ladies and gentlemen. Those early adopters that are here right now, I'm excited for you. I really am. Because Skyway Invest Group is bigger than just this technology. We're going to have so many different opportunities that are going to come through Skyway Invest Group. You won't be able to help but become a billionaire by implementing the training that you're given and by taking advantage of the opportunities that come up in front of you. Help others and leave a legacy, ladies and gents. That one's a pretty important one for me. Most people say that we leave a legacy through our kids, and yes, we do, but I wanted to leave something for them so they can leave a legacy of their own. Do what you love, guys, and follow your passion. If that's important to you, then you're definitely in the right place, because this can create and generate that income to allow you to do what you love and follow your passion. Whether that's building orphanages overseas, whether it's creating a fund to help domestic violence survivors, whatever it is for you, you'll be able to do it through this opportunity. So that's something I am incredibly, incredibly passionate about. Ladies and gentlemen, that does bring me to the end of my presentation this evening. If you do have any questions, please unmute yourself and come out and ask them. I'll give yourself about 30 seconds to do that. Otherwise, we'll wrap up the call. I must have done a good job of answering everybody's questions. If you do have any questions, just feel free to unmute yourself, come out, ask them. I see some new faces here this evening, so welcome everybody who is here for the first time. If you do have any questions that you don't want to ask me this evening, then by all means go back to the person who invited you here this evening and get in touch with them. Hey, Abby, how you doing? I see you just turn up there. Hey, Darren. So, guys, if you do have any questions, now's the time. Philip, how are you?
Awesome there, Andrew.
Awesome, awesome. You got any questions, mate?
Very interesting.
Very interesting? Awesome. You here for the first time tonight?
Yes.
Good stuff. So who invited you here tonight, Philip?
Rita.
Rita, awesome. Well, you're in good hands with Rita. She is amazing, and she knows this technology inside and out as well.
Oh, awesome. No, I think this could be me, eh? This is the future you're looking at here.
Absolutely it is. Absolutely it is. Couldn't agree more.
Awesome.
Thank you, Andrew. Hi, Rita.
Hi. Thanks for that, Andrew.
Hey, my pleasure, Rita. Anytime.
Informative as usual.
Okay, so we've got somebody else just come out there. You've got a question? Emu Tech?
No, it was good presentation. I'm
awesome.
Chris.
Oh, is it you, Chris? It is Chris.
Yeah,
I recognise your voice, mate. I'm like, hey, Chris.
Yeah, very
Awesome.
good presentation.
Cool.
Yeah,
All right.
thanks, Andrew.
No worries, Darren. My pleasure, mate. All right. So, guys, if there's no other questions, I'm going to wrap this up now. Thank you very much. Get back in touch with the person who invited you this evening, and obviously they'll take you through the steps you need to do to get started. We'll be here again Thursday night, same time, and we'll be kicking off bang on time at the top of the hour at 7 p.m. Have a great night, ladies and gentlemen. Take care.
Thank